In this Sailing Doodles, I give you a drone shot of the boat underway, and we make it to beautiful Plamas del Mar and get a little beach time. This season of Sailing Doodles features Bobby and Amanda as we cruise around on our Hatteras 52. Thank you so much to our patrons for making this channel possible. In the previous video, we left behind Isla Caja de Muertos and headed over to Salinas, where Amanda had to be rescued on her paddleboard. The sun is just starting to peak up now. We got up early to start moving the boat. Want to get going before it gets windy. Kind of the way it works down here is that you got the trade winds that are blowing. I mean, you go offshore, it's blowing 15 miles an hour, or 15 knots right now. But at night, what happens is the land cools quicker than the ocean, and so you get this offshore breeze. So the air sinks down over the island and then goes offshore and kills the trade winds. So it's nice and calm here right now. But as the land heats up, what'll happen is that the land will heat up faster than the water, so then it sucks air in, and then air rises over the island, so it amplifies the trade wind. So it's more, instead of 15 knots, it's gonna be 20 plus. So, you know, I'd like to get to where we're going before that happens, so it's nice and smooth. And so I'm gonna pull up anchor here and get going. The Bay of Salinas is a super calm and well-protected anchorage. The plan for the day was to head inside the reef as long as we could and then 30 miles around to Plamas del Mar. It was still flat and calm in the morning, so it was the perfect conditions to fly the drone. We're doing about 10 knots here, and she looks beautiful underway. We didn't have long on the inside of the reef, and conditions were definitely going to get more rough on the outside. How you feeling?
I'm half awake, but I feel great. I'm just looking at this beautiful rainbow.
It's a little rough out here, but not too bad. It's got stabilizers in it, so we're really not rolling at all, and it's not a terrible ride, just up and down. That's not bad at all. It's the side-to-side stuff to get you. It's not going really that at all. It'd be really rough out on the sailboat right now. How you feeling? She's got a barf bag.
This explains it.
Really not even that. I mean, it's not that bad out here. It's more up and down. If it was going side to side, that's the worst motion. The wind was 15 to 20 knots and the seas were about 5 feet. Heading straight into that can make things just a little rough. The good thing about the power boat is we were only in it for about 3 hours, whereas in a sailboat, it would have been over 5 hours probably. I'm got a short crew here, so I had to put it on autopilot. I was setting up fenders. I'm coming back now. All right, got the fenders and lines set up. Heading in now. Get some air.
Yes, please.
I was a little concerned that waves might be breaking on the channel here, but it's not. It looks okay. Plamas del Mar is kind of a resort area. There are lots of condos, timeshares, and some pretty amazing homes on the cliffs. Alright, sorry guys, I keep forgetting to, I got other things on my mind when I'm docking a boat, especially this is the second time I've ever docked this boat. I meant to grab a camera and kind of film myself driving in from this back little section here, but forgot about it and got busy. You know how it is, you're worried about your investment on the boat rather than grabbing a camera. But yeah, I made it pretty easy, no problems. First attempt coming in. Between the, it's just learning how to use the two engines and the bow thruster in unison to kind of put the boat where you want. And I felt pretty happy with this last one. So anyway, now it's rinse the boat off, get all the salt off of it, and then food and a cold drink, I think. First, you know, 3 or 4 nights out on anchor, I'd say that Mantis Marine bridle, I mean, that thing is heavy duty. Look how thick, that's like over an inch thick line, and that ain't going anywhere. I'm glad we had it, because it was pretty windy a couple of those nights, and it was really pulling on the windlass. So anyway, now it's time to wash down the boat, get all the salt off of it. First, a cold beer is needed though. Oh man, gets a little warm doing all that. I need to train Amanda better on how to kind of handle the boat and stuff. She's not real athletic though, so.
Salt is a major enemy for boats, so it's one thing you need to get in the habit of doing is wiping down and washing down the boat every time you have access to water, like at a dock.
Look guys, there's Bobby. He's just cleaning off the boat.
And I'm ready to go to the beach.
It's a beautiful spot right here. It's a little smelly though. There might be like a waste treatment facility over there.
Definitely a little smelly, but it's still really pretty, so.
Gonna go walk around and explore a little. I gotta rent a car because I gotta drive back and get some parts for the boat and stuff like that. So we'll just kind of explore a little bit and see what's going on.
Rewind, when we rewind, feels so nice.
Well, last time I was here, this place was really cool, like a nice little bar. They had music, live music and stuff like that. I don't know, it's Monday, so maybe they're not doing anything, or maybe it's still shut down from COVID, I don't know. Hopefully it opens back up. It's pretty cool, the place to hang out.
Sweet concussion, oh, you miss my touching.
That seaweed is called sargassum, and it smells really bad. It's getting worse, everybody says, like, because the water temperature's getting higher. I don't know. Yeah, it smells pretty bad. I don't know, I don't have enough experience, but a lot of the locals say the sargassum, which is the seaweed, has been getting worse every year. I don't know if it is or not, but I've heard that in several different places, that it's just, you know.
It's a little smelly, but it's okay.
And it can smell bad too, which is kind of the bad thing.
It's still beautiful here,
yeah.
so.
Well, because it's kind of like, it's decomposing and then it traps like animal, you know, fish and stuff. It's just gross. A little sweaty from a run this morning, but working on the boat. So when we made this last passage, I went 3 miles offshore so I could dump over the holding tank, you know, the black water tank, because you gotta be 3 miles offshore, and it wasn't pumping out. So, you know, trying to figure out what's going on. So a little detective work here. I checked there's a circuit breaker panel right back here. The macerator pump was not on there, but let me show you the macerator pump down here in the first place. So down under this floor hatch and back in here, this whole thing is actually the holding tank. It's over 100 gallons, so it's a nice size, so you can go a month or two, or a month at least, without having to pump out, which is nice for, you know, for 2 people, because, you know, if you're in a marina for a while and they don't have a pump out station or something like that. So down here also is all the controls for the valves, switching the valves, and then the macerator pump itself. And then there's a button right here that you push to pump out. There's actually also one in the forward head to use, but this one is right next to the macerator pump, so I could hear it when I pushed it, because I didn't want to run it. I just wanted to barely touch it to see if that pump would come on, because we're in a marina. I didn't want to actually pump poop out into the water. All that stuff, I was pushing buttons and flipping switches and nothing was working. So I was about to break out my you know, multimeter and see if it was getting power and all that, and I was like, you know what, let me check for other breakers. So part of, you know, getting to know your boat is learning where all the systems, how they all work, because one thing I hate doing is like having to call the previous owner or text them all the time, like, hey, where is this? Hey, where is this? It's really annoying, because, like, I mean, I don't mind doing it because people have bought boats from me before, and, you know, I don't mind helping them out, but if it was like every day, you know, hey, where is this? It'd get a little tiring. So I try not to do it unless I really can't figure something out. So down here in the engine compartment is more breaker panels. So, and there's another DC panel right over here. And sure enough, it's got a switch on it right here for the macerator pump. And then there's another breaker right down there. They were both off. I don't know why they're off, but I turned them both back on and then just tested the pump, just barely tapping it, and it ran. So I don't know why they were off. Maybe they were turned off, or maybe the pump got too hot or something. But so next time we take the boat out, which will be tomorrow, we'll go offshore and try pumping it out, see what happens. If not, then we'll get pumped out first thing at the next place. I don't know if they have pump out stations at the docks or not, but if not, we'll just stop at, you know, they normally have them at the fuel dock, and we'll stop at the fuel dock if we're going to our slip and pump out, and then figure out what's going on with the macerator pump if it does. All right, we're all loaded up, got a bunch of gear. and we're going to the beach. There's a place called Secret Beach.
Let's see if it's really a secret.
Well,
or what the secret is.
It's actually labeled on the map, so it can't be that secret. But, you know. How you doing?
Hey, little fella.
That's not a little fella. That's a big fella. That's a big old iguana. Well, I don't know. It says private property. That's the road to the Secret Beach. I'm not sure if. Yeah.
Oh no, we're half a mile away.
But it's down that road. It's down the road that says private. So we're just gonna go to the beach by the boat. It's just, I'm sure it's just as good. So we're gonna pop over here and see what it's like over here. If it's not very nice, it's too dirty, then we'll go down this trail and find another spot. There's some nice shady spots here, but the beach might be a little cleaner down there, so we're gonna go down there.
And your blood is in the water. You go straight through my heart.
I think this is our spot right here. We put the blanket down right there. We got brought some food and some drinks and hang out. It's a good spot for it. It's not a bad spot for a little lunch picnic, hanging out. What do you think?
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty. I wish it was
It's a
not.
little windy, but it's still really pretty.
Yeah,
so.
wish there wasn't so much seaweed coming up, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, there's a bunch of it out there in the surf. It's really, you don't want to be swimming out there anyway today. That's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Pretty much all the resorts now in the Caribbean with an eastern-facing beach have to clean the sargassum off the beach almost every day.
We've had my love for the ocean. I would be long gone by now.
All right, it's happy hour time.
It is happy hour time.
I hope the place is open. I think it's supposed to be.
If
But-
not, we'll make them open it
Yeah,
for us.
gonna meet some other cruisers and sailors and stuff, so it'll be fun.
Do it.
All right, well, unfortunately the bar is still closed. I don't know if they're gonna open up this evening or not, but we'll sit out here and have a drink anyway. It's the whole COVID thing, you know? I mean, wearing the mask, doing all that crap. Hopefully that'll be over soon.
If you're enjoying the show, please consider subscribing and then click the bell next to it if you'd like to get notifications for when we post a new video. And don't forget, guys, I've been recording new episodes of the Sailing Doodles podcast, including the most recent when I answer over 30 questions from my patrons.